You ever look at your bank account and just sigh? Like, not even in a dramatic way. Just a quiet, tired sigh. You check the balance, you do the mental math, you remember the rent that's coming up, the credit card bill you kind of avoided opening for 2 days, and you think, how did I end up here again? Maybe you told yourself that by 30, you'd be stable. Not rich, just stable. You know, a little cushion, a sense of control. Instead, maybe you feel like every month is a reset button you didn't ask for. You make money, it disappears. You try to save, something breaks. You try to invest, the market drops. It's like you're running on a treadmill that's just slightly too fast. And honestly, I spend way too much time thinking about that feeling. My name is Nick, and I spend an almost embarrassing amount of time thinking about money, not just how to make it, but how people think about it. Why some people spiral after a financial hit, and others rebuild stronger than before. Why two people can lose the same amount of money and end up in completely different places 20 years later. Because here's the thing. The story we're talking about today, a man who lost everything at 30 and became wealthy by 50, isn't about luck. It's not about a secret investment strategy. It's not even about working 100-hour weeks. It's about mindset. And I know that word can sound fluffy, like something you see on a motivational poster with a mountain in the background. But stick with me, because the shift he made after losing everything was subtle, almost invisible at first, and yet it completely changed the trajectory of his life. If you've ever felt behind, stuck, ashamed of your financial situation, or quietly scared that maybe you just aren't good with money, this story might change how you see yourself. So let's rewind. At 30, he had what most people would call a good life.
Decent job.
Small house. A car that wasn't fancy, but wasn't embarrassing either. Some savings. A few investments he barely understood, but felt proud of owning. From the outside, everything looked stable. Inside, it was fragile. He had built his life on income, not on skills, not on resilience, not on diversified streams. Just income. A paycheck. A steady, reliable paycheck. Then the company downsized. You've probably heard that word before. Downsizing. It sounds almost polite, like the company just went on a diet. But for him, it was brutal. Overnight, his security evaporated. He told himself it was temporary. He'd find something else quickly. But the market was tight. Interviews went nowhere. Savings started shrinking. And here's the part most people don't talk about, the shame. It's not just about money. It's about identity. When you lose your job, you don't just lose income, you lose the story you tell yourself about who you are. Months passed. Bills stacked up. Investments were sold at a loss just to survive. Eventually, the house had to go. The car followed. By the time he turned 31, he wasn't just struggling. He was starting over from zero. And here's the critical moment. He had two choices. 1. See himself as a victim of bad luck, a broken system, a harsh economy. Or 2. See this as data. Not punishment. Not fate.
Data.
He chose the second one. That decision, not a business deal, not a stock pick, was the first brick in the foundation of his future wealth. Why this matters to you. When something goes wrong financially, a job loss, debt, a failed business, your brain wants a villain. It wants something to blame. The economy, your boss, your upbringing. And sometimes those things are genuinely unfair. But the moment you switch from "why did this happen to me" to "what is this teaching me?" everything shifts. Actionable takeaway. Next time you face a financial setback, write down 3 things it revealed. Not emotionally, strategically. What skill were you missing? What risk were you overexposed to? What assumption turned out to be false? Pain can either shrink you or sharpen you.